Before we dive into the latest news on the Game of Thrones spinoff, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button to stay up to date all the latest gaming and entertainment news. As a devoted fan of the Game of Thrones series, uh, I'm sure you're no stranger to the feeling of waiting for what feels like an eternity for new episodes, um, or
Spin-offs.
the latest news on A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms. The Hedge Knight has left me feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. On one hand, the prospect of returning to Westeros is always enticing, especially when it comes in the form of a spin-off that promises a slightly lighter tone for fans of the series. Life has turned into a game of patience. The much anticipated final season returned following a 20-month break. And since then, it's been setting the pace for its spin-offs. The recent season of House the Dragon arrived after a 2-year gap, and it seems likely that season 3 will follow a similar production schedule. It can be a bit annoying considering the show's penchant for leaving us hanging at the end of each season, but there are more Game of Thrones tales in HBO's pipeline, according to Warner Brothers' latest updates, that we can look forward to the debut of A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the Hedge Knight's first season next year. However, just like with Game of Thrones, it seems that the premiere might be later than many anticipate. According to Variety, fans of Game of Thrones will be able to revisit Westeros next year as Warner Brothers reportedly plans a late 2025 release for the Hedge Knight in the series, which is so. If this information from Variety is correct, then the show has been delayed from its original summer launch date. The late autumn/winter season might seem unusual for such a high-profile franchise like Game of Thrones, but HBO has seen success with end-of-year releases in recent times. And as a gaming enthusiast, I've been eagerly awaiting the premiere of The Penguin in late September. And let me tell you, it's sliced through the clutter to become one of the standout shows this year. Next year might bring us The Hedge Knight, which could very well be another hit, making the wait for a fresh season of House of the Dragon a little more bearable. If anything, it might shake up the franchise, given that reports suggest the series will adopt a somewhat episodic structure, similar to how The Mandalorian on Disney Plus captivates me with its tale of a roaming knight. So too does the book that inspired The Hedge Knight, which chronicles adventures of a towering knight named Sir Duncan the Tall, penned by George R.R. Martin, Topper Bin Shax, Go Sailburn. Within these 3 novellas, we find his squire, who turns out to be none other than a future Targaryen king. As for how HBO will adapt these books, only time will tell. But The Hedge Knight could offer a refreshing change from the intense serial narratives of House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones. And on a lighter note, I guess you could say that waiting for the premiere of The Hedge Knight is like waiting for a dragon to hatch. It's a long time coming, but when it finally does, it's going to be epic. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time, Semi-God.